Hi everybody, it's Jenny, and it's hard to believe, but we are approaching week 4 of Zentari and our mindful meditation practice that Carrie Krupp and I have offered to you. And there have been quite a few of you who have taken advantage of our daily classes and hopefully accessing this content. And so this is my first time of introducing the weekly topic to you, and the topic for this week is one that we feel is very appropriate and timely, and that is compassion. So week 1 was an intro week. Week 2, we talked about 3 tracks. Week 3, this week we talked about monkey mind. And week 4, we're kind of bringing it all together and talking about the theme of compassion. With everything going on in the world today, compassion at some points has been at its highest, and at other points has been at its lowest. For some reason, I'm really having a hard time with that. But it's the world has become in some ways unified, and in other ways very divisive, depending on shared opinions or unshared opinions, thoughts and feelings. And so as a culture and as a world, we're at a really big breaking point, I kind of think, about how we treat each other, how we are moving about in our days, and if we are using our highest selves to relate to each other. And so that's kind of where compassion comes in. Initially, I really wanted to do self-compassion because I read a great book called Self-Compassion by Kristin Neff that talks about all the ways we may be easily available to others in terms of being compassionate and being kind. And we kind of give ourselves the back seat and don't always treat ourselves with the same compassion that we treat others. And that's definitely going to be part of the teachings of the coming week. But after discussing it with Carrie and with Brenda Mamber, who is going to be teaching a class this coming week and joining us in this adventure, the more we talked about it, we thought compassion as a whole would be a great topic. Compassion for others, compassion for self, compassion for the world at large and in general right now. And so I'm a big definitions person, so I figured I would just go ahead and share the definition of compassion, which is sympathetic pity and concern for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. So it's really taking away judgment, taking away criticism, taking away the need or the want to say, if I had done that, I would have done it this way, or maybe you should have done it this way and this wouldn't have happened to you. Compassion is really stripping away all of our prone reactions, all of our knee-jerk gut reactions to things, and saying, I'm going to put myself in that other person's shoes, and I'm going to take myself out of the equation, and I'm going to just give them kindness and love and whatever it is that they might need to feel better. And the same applies to ourselves. We may be someone who is always looking at our actions, even our thoughts or our feelings, and saying, why do I do that? Like, why did I say that? Why did I react that way? Why did I get so strung out about that? Why did I get so upset? I know as a mother with my son who's 7, I'm very sometimes prone to snapping without really processing and putting myself back into the shoes of a 7-year-old and how I might encounter a situation. And so compassion is really removing the self. And I think even in self-compassion, it's removing the self, because you are, in that instance, probably looking at it from the outside in and treating yourself maybe how you would treat another person in a kind and loving way. So our classes this week are going to be focused on cultivating compassion for others, for ourselves, for our practice, and just in general, get that feeling of what compassion can bring to us when we employ it in our everyday lives. And I will end with a quote, because I know quotes are something that we all enjoy. And this is a quote by the Dalai Lama, and it says, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. It doesn't get much more simple than that. So the practice of compassion can lead to some wonderful results for yourselves in your relationships and even in just your general interactions with others. So thank you again for joining us for this week 4. We hope that you find the content and the teachings enjoyable and useful and a blessing to you in your lives. And have a great rest of your day and weekend. Namaste.